I can't believe we haven't used the word lyrical yet.
Yeah, I think lyrical is almost like legally required to use that when you're talking about Mexican and South American writing. Hello, everybody, and welcome to a new episode of the Book Report presented by the Millions. I am Mike,
And I'm Janet.
and today we're going to be talking about a book called Signs Preceding the End of the World by Yuri Herrera. It is about a young woman named Makina in Mexico, although the word Mexico is never actually said, but you kind of get the feeling it's Mexico. And she goes on a trip to the United States to find her brother who crossed the border a while back, and she and her mom haven't heard from him. So the first thing that happens in the book is a huge sinkhole appears and swallows up a car, and I think a car and a guy. When I read that, I was like, okay, this is not really happening. It's like a dream or a, Garcia Marquezian kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it's actually not. I mean, from what I can tell anyway, it's a pretty realistic, straightforward book, I think.
But then as I was thinking about it later, I was like, there might be an alternate reading where everything that happens after that is happening after she dies. Because the first words of the book are, I'm dead. The sinkhole caves in. She thinks that she's going to fall as well, and then she doesn't. But maybe she did, because then the whole book is then her mom tells her to go cross the border and find her brother. And so it's sort of this quest that she goes on to find her family. And then without spoiling the ending, finds peace. It's both a story that takes place over the course of maybe 5 days, and then is also a very epic journey.
Yeah,
in its set
absolutely.
pieces.
Yeah, that's also something I did not think about. You're kind of blowing my mind here.
The crossing of the border from Mexico to America, presumably, as sort of this allegory for life and coming of age.
Yeah.
But then every once in a while there are these very specific details that sort of ground it in a more literal reading. When she gets to the other side, keeps noticing other people who presumably are also from Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
They call them homegrowns, someone else who crossed over. And she was she's everywhere she looked, fleeting looks of recognition, quickly concealed and then evasive. These were her compatriots, her homegrown, armed with work. Builders, florists, loaders, drivers, playing it sly so as not to let on to any shared objective, and instead just there to take orders. And it was this thing I'd never thought of before. They maybe recognize each other.
Yeah.
Or recognize someone who's in the same position as them, but they're not going to go up and be like, oh, hey, are you here illegally from Mexico? Me too. Yeah. But there is that sort of the nod. They're all giving each other the nod. And I was like, that's fascinating. I've never thought of that because I only think of immigration from an American perspective.
That's right.
U.S. It might be about traveling to America. It might be about the end of the world. She might be dead. It might be a retelling of the Odyssey at the Mexican border. It's a lot.
It's a lot for 100 pages. And we might be dead.
Why is it called Signs Preceding the End of the World?
I have no idea.
Maybe the end of her childhood, the end of the world that was her childhood.
Yeah. That would make sense.
I guess.
I love the character. She's such a badass, too, the character. She's great. When the guy kind of accosts her on the bus, this guy kind of hits on her clumsily on a bus, and she
breaks his finger.
That was maybe my favorite scene, just because of how cool it was played and how cool she is. I love that character. I'm kind of in love with her.
Yeah, she's great.
Stay away,
too bad
Potter.
She's dead. Maybe
she might be dead. We might have to take a road trip to New Orleans to figure this out. Go to
Yeah.
Tulane, ask the author.
Yeah, it'll be just like the end of The Fault in Our Stars.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, I guess in summation, we really like this book, Signs Preceding the End of the World, from And Other Stories Press.
Yeah.
And yeah, Yuri Herrera, Lisa Dillman, you guys
Thank
are
you.
okay in our book. This is the stupidest thing ever. You'll never walk alone.
You'll never walk alone.